Hey lovelies, this is Intuitively Speaking, aka Fatima. Briefly, I just wanted to say that I've got 2 minutes on here. But anyways, the people who were stalking me and harassing me, my brother was currently incarcerated allegedly. These people were sent to me, I believe, by him. Because I was reflecting back when I was out and about, that all these people who I was associated with or communicated with or helped with or whatever, there were people that were so-called my friends or buddies or whatever you call it. And then one time I was going to go pick up somebody, take them to get, do their bills, whatever it is. And then I saw the crackhead hiding amongst the bushes. So he knew that guy very well. So I'm like, damn, how you know all this guy? Of course, he used to be tricking up and down Stockton Boulevard. He'll tell you in the Paso Heights. Now they got this kid harassing my son. Talking about, oh yeah, this is who, this, that, and the other. They need to mind their fucking business instead of my business. And again, they sent documents. We're in my apartment anyway, snooping around, and I know the housing's part of it. To give word to agencies, because 2010, my ex, the Nigerian, he had contacted the housing and got pertinent information and put it in public record in the courts, at the family court in 2010, when I had my so-called bench trial. It was a fluke anyway. And he put how much housing assistance I was getting, how much Cal Fresh, which is food stamps, Cal Works, talk about I don't need to be on the system, shit like that. And he called up there because they told me a guy with an accent called to get information. See, back then, who's on the phone. They'll give me my social instead of your tenant code, and they'll get information. And they told me, oh, have him stop, but they should have had sued him. But they dropped the ball because they gave him my information. And since then, they've only get me off the system. And he was calling up there constantly. Oh, she should be on this, she can work, da-da-da-da. It doesn't matter if I can work or not. It's what is your business? Meanwhile, he's married to a Zimbabwean chick, which her sister was married to a, where is he from? I don't know, somewhere, Kenya, somewhere, I don't know, somewhere like that. Help him get his green card. And it's a bunch of scams. I'm just floored because these agencies take it to heart. Instead of having the investigators, so they want to pay the investigator because they know it's not true. So they ask me the question. So do you have this? Do you have that? Okay, well, if you feel that way, if you feel it's committing fraud or whatever it is, like my son was telling me, my oldest one, talking about, oh, they just think you're committing fraud. Okay, well, then why didn't you tell me this before? Because he's the one, too, contacting them as well. Oh, I know that. He said he's not. I'm like, how do you know all this stuff? Except I didn't put it on no application. Because my stuff was taken from his apartment when I had my trust account information, my banking information, which the convention closed anyway. And I confronted him, said, well, I don't know where it's at, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I can't even start a business. I can't even do nothing. It'd be your own family. For what? And they think, because my brother probably said something like, oh, yeah, if your mother dies, then you guys get all this, whatever. So that stalking, harassment, standing on the sidelines, hiding in the bushes. Then you had the apartment people in the Highlands following me on doing DoorDash. You had the Russian dude who befriended me online. He was following me, I was doing DoorDash. And it turns out he's the one who ordered my mother's gravestone in the Highlands. So why would you come to the Highlands and do all that for? Because it's all put up. See, my brother already knew my mom's health. He's on the phone. He's like paranoid, And they tried to tell me that I'm this, I'm that. They took my medical records out of my apartment. They made it such a way, which I found out too, with this organization. But they were pretty much a fluke. They were pretty much, with some people, like, they're like an organization, but they're really not. They're like, for the agencies, they spy on the people who are supposedly going against the grain. And so, cause I peeped game a long time ago. And somebody told me too some things. So they were saying, oh, we're having a meeting on this day, and we'll be way out in Lincoln. So we'll give them enough time to go through my apartment, take my shit, And, I had a lot of stuff, so I really didn't know things were missing until I needed it, And I had notes and shit in my little composition book. That was taken. These bastards. I'm trying to tell you, I don't give a fuck if they go to prison. Under the prison, don't come crying to me. Whatever happens to you, it happens. That's why they're scrambling, coming over, where I'm at. Now I'm like, how do they know where I'm at? Granted, my phone is off, but I use a Wi-Fi, my old phone. And that's the phone that I use at North Highlands. So, what's his name? Warren, he's on my line as well, constantly. So my thing is, why don't you guys talk about him? Because when I moved to that apartment, those cameras were already pre-installed before I moved in there. It wasn't just put in there, maybe the bathroom part in 2017, but in the living room, those been in there since I moved in, 2015. Because people were coming in, every time they would come in, they'd look at the light fixture, but I was always wondering why. Until somebody contacted me and told me. Who does that? That's perverse. And I don't care if they say FISA this or FISA that. Yes, because we're under maritime jurisdiction, which is international law. So anytime you deal with these federal agencies or so Section 8 or whatever you call it, low income, they get federal funding. So you're kind of under the grain of international law, which means your state law doesn't apply to a certain extent, but you have to abide by the First and Fourth Amendment. I have a right to be secured in my person as far as my papers and things. There must be a warrant, or a probable cause and a warrant to go search my fucking apartment. They always do it when I'm not here. They're chicken shit. They're cowards. And have these low-life drug addicts doing this shit. And Section 810s who are on drugs, who have people who rent rooms. Bothering me. So anyway, I want to say that because the Nigerian, he contacted them in 2010 and got my information too. If you go to the family court and look up my so-called bench trial, which was a fluke anyway, it's a yellow piece of paper. It's in there, and he put everything in there because they dropped the ball. They gave me all my information, and there's an African working there, at the time, and they're always eyes on me because they've been stealing. And I realized, looking back, the guy who was doing identity theft, I think he was doing identity theft or some shit he was doing. He was going back and forth to China, and my ex was going back and forth to China. He told me he didn't have no money. So how is he going back and forth to China? So the Secret Service article, you gotta look for it online. Secret Service, the Nigerian dude had an office by Secret Service downtown Sacramento, and they caught because of the package coming to China with a bunch of identifications, fake, false, this, false, that, and my ex was part of that. But then everybody, scoured away from it because they don't want to be associated with that. And then after that, he spent 5, 6, 10 years, but he had a bunch of money he put up because he knew he was taking a chance and whatever, and he did not get deported either. So after all that said, and I believe my brother was know the guy in the interim, because that dude, the Nigerian, he kept contacting me and put shit on my door and I like you and all kind of bullshit, flowers and cards. I should know what was up there. I was young. I was in my 20s. And then the other one, the crackhead, I should have known because I should have never went to my uncle's place because we had like a family gathering. And everybody it was in his face, but he's so weak. Anybody smile on his face, he goes to it because he's insecure, because he's been abandoned, and he stole from me. He called the repo man on me and broke into my place and all kind of shit. Even his own friends said, "Hey man, clean up yourself, this, that, and the other." And you think he did? No, he was sleeping in storage with some chick. And so from there, and before then, he was my brother. They were all in Del Paso Heights. I didn't know this at the time, but I'm looking back at all the instances. I remember because I filed for unemployment back in 2008, I believe. I lost my job, and I had filed an appeal because they were stopping me from getting unemployment for whatever reason. And I had worked. And then he was telling his friend, "Oh yeah, she got money." I'm like, "Damn, I was broke. The money." And I thought back. I said, "Oh, okay." So they knew back then. So my brother was always, he would say, "Oh yeah, where you live at now?" I'll come by and bring the kids over. But in the interim, he was plotting the whole entire time. Next thing I know, landlord started knocking on my door, all kind of shit. I live a quiet, respectful life. Whatever I do in my home is my business. That's why I don't get people making fun of me and shit like that. Well, I don't really care no way, because you guys are perverts, pedophiles. Oh, she did, she that, she this and that, whatever. And if I am, so what? What is it to you? Will you do it to anybody else? What if I was remote viewing in your home through your TV? I know how to do that too. There's nothing to it. But I already know if I do that, it'll be traced back to me. So that lets me know who's involved with all this shit. So it's like, all these years you guys knew about it, about stealing my one term, she said something like, yeah, they, cause I had got this protection pouch from the motherland, and it was made especially for me. So whoever touched that and did this and that, they're always getting into problems. I already said it already. And they told me one morning, I was looking for it. It was gone. My amethyst stone, which was given from my father, that was gone. I said, oh, okay. I'm not gonna harp over it. Why? This came from the motherland. So jealous. Ask my brother when he's currently incarcerated, allegedly. He was arrested in Africa, and he was in the jail. Jails in Africa, it's not like here. My father was so embarrassed. Granted, I have my things, but I never got arrested. He said, he can't take it no more. He can't breathe. No. He was so much in trouble down there, they don't want him to come back to that country. Let him tell it. Driving all erratic and all kind of bullshit. That's why when I moved to my house, I was like, why people trying to run me off the road? This was in 2016. I had no clue. They'll come with tinted windows. This good woman gave me a phone. I had one of those little bitty Obama phones. And then from there, she gave me a phone. I took it down to a Boost Mobile. They said, this is like our phone, but the IMEI number doesn't match. It was a police phone. They wanted to monitor me. Because the rumor had it, I was selling drugs. Then they changed it. Oh, she's prostituting. Then they changed it. All kind of bullshit. So why follow me for it and what? If they felt that way, they have a satellite imagery. And all the people say all this stuff, all across the nation, whatever, because it's property management, investors. They got their hand, they got the deep pockets, because they don't want to get the deep pockets from stealing from folks. I give me a GSA bond too, and use it against start surveilling people. Like right now, the attorneys following me for what? Why are they following me? And real estate investors who are attorneys as well. Why? Because they're thieves. That's why a lot of people are homeless or houseless, because they run these properties here in California. If they don't like you, they'll find a way to get you out. They'll evict you out. Even if you're in the right, they have people in the courts who will go up against you. That I do know. But anyways, until next time, peace.